Good morning, dear children. Today we'll deal with some numericals on Gauss theorem. The very first numerical is the electric field components in the figure are given as Ex is equals to alpha x to the power of 1 by 2, Ey is equals to Ez is equals to 0. That means electric field is present only along x direction, children. Ey and Ez, they are 0. Along y and z directions are 0. Alpha's value is given to you. Calculate the flux phi E through the cube and the charge within the cube. Assume that A is equals to 0.1 meter. Now, this is the figure that is given to you. Now, y direction is this, z is z direction, x direction. Now, you know that the electric field is present only along the x direction. Now, if electric field is present only along x direction, then the normal to this face, that is the shaded portion, would for the right face would lie along this, and normal to the other shaded portion along the left side would lie along the left direction. Now the flux through this face, the back side, and this, that is the unshaded portions, would be equals to 0. As there is no electric field along those directions. Hence, we'll calculate the electric field for only this shaded portions. That is, the flux through only the shaded portions. Now, coming to the calculation part, we know that Ex is equals to alpha x to the power of 1 upon 2. Now, I'll consider this face as the right face and this face as the left face. So, for the right face, ER would be equals to alpha. What is the value of x there? A and A. That is the distance from the origin. For the right face is A plus A, that is 2A. Hence, it would be 2A to the power of 1 upon 2. Similarly, the electric field for the left face would be equals to alpha. Left face, the distance is A, hence it would be equals to A to the power of 1 upon 2. Now we'll calculate the flux. Now for calculating the flux, for the left, first I'll calculate for the left face. For the left face, flux phi E is equals to E dot S vector, which can be written as E is the electric field, that is E. For the left face, I'll write it as L. So it would be EL into S cos. What is the angle for the left face? The angle between electric field is in this direction. Normal to the face is in this direction. So the angle between them would be equals to 180 degree. As you all know that cos 180 is equals to minus 1. Hence, I'll write it as minus EL into the surface area of this face is, A square. So it would be A square. Now, what is the value of EL? EL is equals to alpha A to the power of 1 upon 2 into A square. So this is for the left face. Similarly, I'll find for the right face. Now, for the right face, flux phi R is equals to E dot S, which can be written as ER S cos. Now, what is the angle between the electric field and the normal to the face? It is 0. So, it would be cos 0 degree. Now, what is ER? ER is equals to alpha 2A to the power of 1 upon 2. S is A square. Right. Now, this can be written as root 2 alpha A to the power of 1 upon 2 into A square. Now, we have calculated for the left face and the right face. Now we'll calculate the net flux. Therefore, phi net will be equals to phi r plus phi L. Right, that's the net flux. Now what is phi r is equals to? Phi r is equals to root 2 alpha a to the power of phi by 2. Now this can be written as root 2 alpha a to the power of phi by 2. Similarly, this can be written as minus alpha a to the power of phi by 2. So, root 2 alpha a to the power of phi by 2. Now, minus of alpha a to the power of phi by 2. Right? Now, alpha a to the power of phi by 2 can be taken out common. Then, you are left with root 2 minus 1. Right? Now, this can be written as substituting the value. Alpha is 800 and then A is 0.1. So, 0.1 it is square and then 1 by 2. So, I'll write 0.1 square into 0.1 into root 2 is 1.414 minus 1. So, it would be 0.41. Right? Substituting it, you would get the value 0.1 square into 0.1 root. Right? Substituting the value, we get the result to be 1.05. Now the flux, the SI unit of flux is Newton meter square per coulomb. Right? So this is the solution for the net flux through the surface. Now we need to calculate the charge within the cube. Right? Now for calculating the charge, now for charge, this was the solution for the first part. Now for the second part, for the charge within the cube, we know that flux phi E is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Right? So we need to calculate Q. Therefore, Q can be written as flux into epsilon naught. That is flux net into epsilon naught. Now, flux phi net is equals to 1.05 into, what is the value of epsilon naught? It is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Now, calculating it, the total charge epsilon naught, right? The total charge within the sphere comes out to be equals to 9.27 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb. That is the net charge that is enclosed by the surface. Moving on to the next numerical. S1 and S2 are two hollow concentric spheres enclosing charges Q and 2Q respectively as shown in the figure. That means inside S1 you have got charge Q, inside S2, that is in the space between S1 and S2 you have got 2Q charge. What is the ratio of the electric flux through S1 and S2? Very first, moving on to the first part, ratio of the electric flux through S1 and S2. So, through S1, if I consider it as phi 1, as we all know that phi is equals to Q by epsilon naught. So, where Q1 is the net charge enclosed by epsilon naught, Q net by epsilon naught. Now, what is the net charge that is enclosed by S1? As there is only one charge present there, so it would be Q by epsilon naught. That is the flux through the first surface. Now, flux through the second surface. For the flux through the second surface, as it's again Q net by epsilon naught, what would be Q net? Q net for the second surface would be equals to Q, and because second surface is covered by the first surface too. Hence, the net charge that is enclosed by the surface would be 2Q plus Q. That is 2Q plus Q by epsilon naught, which would be equals to 3Q by epsilon naught. Now, since we need to find out the ratio of the flux through S1 and S2, so I'll calculate phi 1 and phi 2's ratio. Phi 1 is to phi 2 is equals to Q by epsilon naught divided by 3Q by epsilon naught. Right? So, it would be equals to 1 is to 3. That's the solution for the first part. Now, moving on to the solution for the second part. How will the electric flux through the sphere S1 change if a medium of dielectric constant phi is introduced in the space inside S1 in place of air? Now, we have got a dielectric constant phi being introduced inside S1. Now, children, as we know that flux phi is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Now, when we are introducing a dielectric constant, it becomes Q by epsilon naught K. Right? That is the value of flux. Now, how will the flux through the medium change if a dielectric constant of phi is introduced in the space inside the dielectric? Now, S1 is enclosing what charge? It is Q. So, I'll write it as it is Q net, Q net. So, what is the Q net? It is Q by K is 5. So, it is phi epsilon naught. That's the solution for the second part. Now, moving on to the solution for the third part. How will the flux through the sphere S1 again change if a medium of dielectric constant K is introduced in the space inside S2? Now we are introducing a dielectric constant K in S2 we are introducing. So, and you need to find out the flux through the sphere S1. Now the flux depends upon the net charge that is enclosed, right? Now S1 has got no relation with S2, wherever the dielectric constant is placed outside, no matter, it doesn't affect it. Hence, the placing a dielectric constant K in the space of S2 doesn't affect the electric flux through S1. So, what would the answer be? So, the answer would be no change, as flux through S1 is independent of the dielectric constant introduced in the space inside S2. I hope, children, you all have understood the solution to both the numericals. Thank you.